Now, in the latest dramatic turn in the long-running investigation of U.S. President Joe Biden's son, the U.S. Justice Department said that Hunter Biden may now be headed for a criminal trial. The department has even appointed a special counsel, David Weiss, amid allegations of tax fraud and illicit overseas business deals against him. The appointment's announcement came as Weiss told the federal court in Delaware that a plea struck with Biden in June was no longer valid, which means he could now move to file felony charges against President's son in other jurisdictions. Weiss has been investigating Hunter Biden since 2019 on low-level tax and gun charges. Interestingly, he was originally appointed to his position as U.S. Attorney for Delaware by Joe Biden's political rival Donald Trump. He was allowed to stay on during the Biden administration. Now, a potential trial may lead to unusual show in American history, the president's son being prosecuted as his father runs for a re-election, possibly against Donald Trump, who has at least 3 forthcoming criminal trials of his own. Meanwhile, Republicans in the House of Representatives are also threatening to launch an impeachment investigation, this into unsubstantiated allegations that President Joe Biden profited from the business ventures of his 54-year-old son. Earlier in July, Hunter Biden pleaded not guilty to accusations of failing to pay taxes on more than $1.5 million in income in 2017 and 2018. This despite owing more than $100,000 as taxes. In a different instance, he did not enter a plea where he is accused of unlawfully possessing a firearm under the influence of drugs. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Teherani has sent us this report from New York.
After that plea deal for Hunter Biden was ridiculed universally as being a sweetheart deal and basically thrown out, the architect of that deal, David Weiss, has now been promoted to special counsel. Republicans have cried foul, saying that this shields the Biden family from being investigated by those in Congress. It also may shield David Weiss from testifying before Congress. Regardless, Republicans said that they will continue their ongoing investigations. But there's another side to this story, and that's the fact that this really spells trouble for Hunter Biden himself. Appointing a special counsel most definitely means that his case will go to trial. However, the question remains whether or not the mandate of David Weiss, the special counsel, would be extended to investigate President Biden as well. So far, the DOJ has not answered that question. Susan Teherani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
All right, so a lot of drama happening in the United States. Let's talk more about it. Ray Locker is joining us from Washington, D.C. Locker is a senior journalist, author, and also columnist. Jay Locker, welcome to WION World is One, and thank you very much for making time for us.
Thanks, Eric.
There's a lot happening in the United States. We have a son of a sitting president going on trial. We have the president himself facing an imminent impeachment. And we have a former president who wants to become president again, who is also facing trial. What is happening in America, and what do you think about this timing of Hunter Biden's case?
Well, I think Hunter Biden has had long-running problems with drug addiction and other issues. So far, the House committee that's been investigating him and has had his alleged laptop for years hasn't found anything. They said they were going to have a witness this week, his former business partner, Devin Archer, who was going to testify to all manner of wrongdoing. He did no such thing. Basically, this deal that Weiss came up with was, a relatively innocuous plea deal. There were some problems with it. They threw it out. I mean, really, Hunter Biden, under $2 million in unpaid taxes or income, owes $100,000, really not that much. Gun charges, serious. But again, not that big of a deal. Nothing linking Hunter Biden to the president ever. And so there's a lot of smoke being fanned by House Republicans, but so far there's nothing real than this. Republicans wanted a special prosecutor. They wanted Weiss to be named special counsel. Now they got what they wanted, and they're saying there's something wrong with it. So they want to have it every which way they can, but there's really nothing there behind what they're saying so far.
All right. If there is nothing there behind what they're saying, what happens if this case goes on trial? What happens next in American history and in American politics?
Well, I don't know if we've ever had a presidential son or a vice presidential son, for that matter, be prosecuted in a case like this. Chances are he's going to talk to his lawyers to get some advice. I don't see this becoming a protracted trial. Certainly nobody in the Biden administration wants that to happen. Maybe he cuts a plea, does whatever sentence there is, or maybe the special counsel who's been investigating this decides that there's no reason to have a trial and drops the charges. That could happen. There's no guarantee that this thing goes to trial. And there's no guarantee that he gets convicted if he does go to trial.
All right. Finally, we are looking at the 2024 elections. A lot is happening. Donald Trump is still on trial. Joe Biden is seeking a re-election in his presidential bid. What do you think, or what do you foresee happening in the next few months going forward ahead of the elections?
I think Donald Trump's political position is weakening day by day, minute by minute. The cumulative effect of these 3 charges so far, with a 4th one coming, and a prospect of a January trial on the January 6 allegations, is weakening him. So far, we don't know who's poised to take advantage of it. But you're seeing signs that some of his Republican challengers, who heretofore had not said anything against Trump, are starting to criticize him. They're acknowledging that he lost the 2020 election, which is a big first step. And I think some of them are realizing, certainly former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, are realizing he's not somebody to be feared. And that if they can capture the votes of the people who don't like Trump, and there's a lot of them in the Republican Party, then they have a chance of becoming the next nominee and brushing off the problems that Trump brings to anybody in a general election.
All right. Ray Locker, thank you very much for giving us time today and for talking to WION World is One.
Thanks, Eric.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.